The image of prison is deeply disturbing. It reminds me of feeling trapped in my life, imprisoned by my own habits, beliefs, knowledge, learning, and resultant choices. There were times when I'd scream to myself, "No, I want out." I knew that there's got to be more to life than money, work, pain, suffering, and fear spun by the media. I wonder if you felt that way. Anyway, there's not much you can do about it. Is there? That's what I used to think. My whole being now tells me there is much, much more to life and the world in which we live, particularly the body, mind, and spirit, than each of us has been taught to realize or accept. I would like to explore with you how each of us, alone and together, can simply and freely become aware of and release our shackled selves and potential now in this lifetime and discover our unlimited natural capacity for self-healing, health, longevity, and well-being. I am not a medical practitioner or qualified professional, nor do I seek to advise you about your personal ailments and/or state of mind. So please seek such advice elsewhere, though you are most welcome to stay. I think that ordinary people are extraordinary. How does that thought make you feel? Say it to yourself. I am extraordinary. How do you react in your mind, your emotions, your body? Consider that each of us has a gift waiting to be opened and embraced, offering an awesome capacity of mind, body, and spirit to be or do anything we choose beyond our wildest imagination. I enjoy the stories of people, heroes, great people, saints, leaders, and others from many backgrounds, who sacrificed much to do extraordinary things when challenged. Yet why do they always seem to be somebody else? I think they and even comic book superheroes only scratch the surface of what is possible. Instead, civilization develops machines and technologies at enormous environmental and social cost, supposedly for our convenience and betterment, which really distract from and deny what I believe are our innate capacities. I have no doubt that we can do better than any technology we create, yet we exist within unchallenged systems which work, educate, and entertain us all to death and life. We are unwittingly taught, like children, to accept having others, machines, and civilization do so many things, including thinking for us. We are lulled into helpless passivity, sitting as in the summer camp song, like birds in the wilderness waiting for dessert. Yet there is nothing to wait for. No machine or anything else can give us the birthright of our potential. The time has come, and the choice is ours alone to stop waiting. Ironically, this potential is free, simple, and easily accessible. So actually getting there with hope fading to confidence, strength, and love is what this and future videos will be all about. So who am I? Well, I'm just another confused guy, overwhelmed and bogged down by my poor habits, unwanted responsibilities, the tyranny of the shoulds, the complexity of life, emotional turmoil, lethargy, and a lack of time, money, and oomph to carry me through from one day and moment to the next. Sound familiar? I know we all have problems, but for me, I've been overweight, eaten a poor and balanced diet, not exercised, been unfit, was a workaholic, escaped into TV, movies, computer games, and social media, ignored myself and my family, and suffered the consequences. Finally, I faced a crisis, losing my job, marriage, and health. Breathless at exertion, stressed out, overwhelmed, and paralyzed by anxiety, I discovered I had heart failure and type 2 diabetes. Knowing I brought this on, I didn't know what to do except continue the comfortable but destructive habits of a lifetime. Doctors and statistics said I could live maybe another 5 years without pills and operations. Yet stronger was fear of living a long life in a nursing home and earning a tombstone epitaph that he had great potential. Instead, I chose to stop and take stock. Since then, I've learned so much about myself, life in the world. I did an ayahuasca journey, studied sound healing, and decided to take control of my own body and health. I've developed strategies for healing and living, along with a simple set of individual and group tools for self-healing and breaking the conditioning and habits of a lifetime that I would like to share with you to help open your door to the vast potential I believe we all have. For me, increasing awareness is the key. It's a space we all know, momentarily, like when startled from intense activity, but before we react. Once while in a heated argument with my ex, my cat Sufi jumped up on me, but as I continued to argue, she bit me on my nose. Before I angrily tossed her away and felt the pain, I captured a moment of focus and awareness, which I still remember. And now I'm very grateful for that lesson Sufi taught me. Noticing and stringing the essence of such moments together over time can help us clearly recognize what awareness is as it continues to grow. In that space, I find things make more sense. It follows that awareness can be exercised by returning to that space. A simple and profound discovery which reveals that awareness is the enemy of thoughtless habit. Another awareness exercise is questioning everything we think we know. As an editor in Japan, I chose to look up every word I thought I knew in the dictionary. I discovered new meanings to words I used all the time. I realized how easy it is to misunderstand and misread people and the world when viewed through the filter of knowledge, learning, emotions, and our very nature. The point is that questioning and listening promotes awareness, which is accessible to each of us. I've also noticed that with awareness comes a silence, stillness, and my very own quiet inner voice of wisdom and compassion, which will answer questions when asked. But do we really want to know the answers to our questions? Not the sus voice of the ego. This quiet voice is often drowned out by the distractions of civilization and those who profit from our ignorance. In this state, I began to notice the holistic nature of our being, which mirrors the earth, Gaia, and universe. Every part is interrelated, interdependent, and tied together within the whole by a flow of powerful, loving energy. A profound realization that has changed my view of the nature of health, disease, life, and death. For example, our choices and a multitude of factors can also have many seemingly unrelated effects throughout our bodies, making it difficult to understand or treat illness. Further, as a holistic being, I realize that the effect of our choices are governed by a simple set of universal laws, like cause and effect. Understanding and accepting those laws takes some of the mystery out of life, giving us a power over our health, well-being, and the world in which we live that blows apart much of what we have been taught since childhood. How can one not feel overwhelmed and fearful in that context? How many times have I retreated into the many distractions which suck us in to stay rather than protect us? However, with awareness, I noticed a presence that came with the quiet voice that I realized has been with me, and I suspect you, awake or asleep, no matter what, since birth. Special and exciting was discovering that this presence will also give help whenever I ask. Once in hospital, I sat alone waiting admission, scared. Though taught earlier that men do not ask for help, this time I quietly did, and literally felt the calming care and warmth which stayed with me throughout the experience. I believe all people have their very own personal presence, regardless of religion and background. A comforting thought. Please don't accept what I say. This is a starting point for discussion and self-exploration. I wonder if these videos, practices, and group work will help us all to make new and exciting discoveries together. My aim is to take charge of my life with power, purpose, and love to help make this world the more beautiful place I think it was always meant to be and will be. What is your aim, I wonder? What would hold us back from something so simple and rewarding? A big one is habit, things we do without thinking. So what's the big deal? It makes life easier to cope with walking, driving, thinking, breathing, standing. The list is endless. And we all know habits can be good or bad, right? Either way, unchallenged habits, like knowledge and beliefs, are killers. Because anything which restricts awareness is a barrier to functioning well and connecting to our holistic selves and surrounding world. As habits involve rule-making and programming, we cannot fully live and experience the world as it is and could be. Awareness is not a toy to play with when we feel like it. Like any bodily muscle, it grows with use, exercise, and persistence. It allows us to see what we do as if it is the first time, opening us to new learning, flexibility, and change. Unchallenged, habits can bind us like the tightest of ropes, a closed door, or prison bars that keep everything out or in, regardless of the original intent. It's no wonder that habits, like many practical rules and structures created over time, when viewed as tools, are so powerful because our limited minds and bodies seemingly would be overwhelmed and not able to function in this world. It raises the question, are we as human beings unsuited to living and relating to this world in a meaningful way? I suspect as we see ourselves now, yes. Moreover, knowledge and education from birth shape mental habits into beliefs, which govern our actions without thinking. Attachment to human knowledge ingrains old ways of thinking and doing things. There's nothing like talking with someone about trying a new way of doing things and hearing, "We've already done that." That's a quick ideas and change-killing response. Similarly, over-reliance on science can hinder release of our untapped powers when forced to wait for proof before acceptance of the unlikely. Yet even scientists are coming around, postulating a universe shaped by the energy of thought. However, even proof will not sway some because the prospect of becoming awesome can be overwhelming in of itself. That's because being overwhelmed is closely linked to fear, which I think is a key barrier to awareness, a doorway to what we don't know. I had dreams of fear for years where something lurked and menaced me from behind dark walls. I often awoke in terror as it got closer and closer. Finally, one night, something burst forth, and it was a giant, slobbering puppy dog. Now tears of excitement and joy are all that remain. So imagine that what we now fear may be the best, undiscovered, most awesome part of ourselves. No wonder many people look the other way. Sadly, that fear has taken on a life of its own, whereby those who want such change are shunned and put down. Now we must contend with strong, deeply fearful, powerful leaders seduced by greed who use their power to stoke our own fears and suppress us with those habits so they can keep what they have at our expense. We are entertained to helpless distraction and acceptance of dependency on pills and operations to stave off, for example, the supposedly inevitable process of aging. Are we not paralyzed by a diet of fear to be mere cogs in the safe wheels of civilization, while we are then worked to death or relegated to poverty where survival takes precedence? Sadly, even our own family, friends, and communities join in that process. Hence, we're easily discouraged, and we don't believe in ourselves. Well, relax and breathe deeply, because I think there's a lot we can do. First off, we can learn to turn off the distracting noise of ego babble and our memories in our heads, just like switching off a computer, mobile phone, or light switch, whenever we like. I first noticed a few minutes of such stillness at the end of a movie in the theater, and then later on while attending a sound healing workshop. Stringing these moments of awareness together, I was excited over time to realize I could do it myself, and when I did, it was like night and day. Well, the practices that follow can help you make, exercise, and enjoy the power of such discoveries on your own, and together with other people. Barriers indeed will melt away when we learn to work together, accept help, and listen to our own inner guidance through awareness. Awareness of our own strength and capacities is also an antidote to dependency. I have developed simple, practical ways to do just that. Remember, David defeating the giant Goliath with a slingshot was not a fluke. He knew exactly what he was doing, and so will you and I. One step is learning to practice sound attunement, which balances the endocrine system and chakras using resonant sound frequencies, music, and chanting, along with energetic healing with the hands in tandem. This practice stimulates the flow of energy through these parallel body systems. This flow is vital because blockages can cause illness in many different ways according to your individual makeup. Releasing the flow fosters relaxation, self-healing, and awareness, because the body, mind, and spirit in that state can naturally heal itself according to individual need. Sound attunement is simple, can easily be learned, and done in any amount of time, alone, with a partner, friend, or with others in groups. I offer workshops to teach the practice and underlying principles, to kickstart individual and regular group work, which I recommend. To that end, I have created what I call sound healing circles, which provide the kind of ongoing support many of us need to overcome the challenging barriers we face in our daily lives. I imagine you will appreciate this approach if, like me, you are someone who has had trouble sticking with diet, exercise, or any activity for your own good. Sound healing circles will provide not only support and ongoing practice, but learning about some of the many subjects I have covered in this first video. A safe place and way to make many new discoveries about ourselves, including confidence and strength to move forward in our lives together and challenge the ways things have been. Sound healing circles can be organized as small standalone groups or as add-on practices to groups formed for any purpose. It is my aim to help organize such groups and provide you as much information and support in these videos to get started. The point is, the future is not something we wait for, but something we can and must make for ourselves together. Awareness will open the door to the connection, self-respect, and self-healing I think we all need. These in turn, with focus, I believe, will awaken our awesome capacities and make help readily available to take the exciting next steps to shape a new and better future. I wonder if you will share my curiosity and want to learn more together, starting with these videos. Please subscribe to help make that happen. Thanks.